I have the greatest book ever written. How about that? So, I have found a book by the author Laurie Johnson. It's called After the Dance. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Laurie Johnson, this is her debut novel. She's a new author under Kensington Publishing Company, their Defina Books line, which is their African American or urban fiction line. This book is so well written. So well written. I am used to reading the down and dirty and all kinds of drama, all kinds of sex, all kinds of just grungy, wonderful, messy mess of books. Um, and this is definitely not one of those books, but if I love those books and I love this one, I think that anyone who is used to that urban street fiction is going to enjoy this. It takes place in Memphis, and it's all about Faye and Carl and this relationship that they have. They're two neighbors, and Faye's an interesting gal. Faye is an interesting gal. She has a wonderful outlook on, an interesting outlook. Maybe not wonderful. I think it's kind of wonderful outlook on relationships. She is the type of girl that's been burnt, and she just isn't having it anymore. She doesn't have time to run around and play games with a dude. And Carl is coming in, and she's giving him that hand like, please, I don't have time. Let's call it for what it is. I know what you want, so let's just get that going, and you can get out of here. You can be done. You can be gone. I like Faye. She is all kinds of spicy. She's all kinds of just bold and beautiful, and she's a big girl, and she's just embraces who she is, and Carl is trying to make her fall in love with him. And I'm not one to give away a good story, but you want to read this book. It reads, it's what makes this book so good is really the way that it's written. I've never read a book that is written like this. It really is a her story, his story type of book, and it reads almost like you're watching their reality show. Faye is talking to you like you're her girlfriend, and Carl is talking to you like you're one of his boys. And you really can read this, and you can hear. I can picture these people in my head. I can hear them talking, and the way that it's written, it's just so, it folds out to be such a beautiful book. And it really has that down-home Southern feel, the twang, the slang, everything about it. You can tell this author is just on top of her game. She talks like she probably speaks, or she has written this book after someone that is real. Like, I can imagine Faye and Carl living somewhere. Like, I know these people now. Is that weird? I feel like I do. I love to read you a little excerpt out of the book. I wish I would have. I wish I would have saved the page, but it doesn't even matter. I think I can picture anything. I can pick anything, and I think it will give you an idea of what this book is about. I'm going to try to pick something from earlier on in the book so that I don't give away the good story. Let's see. Okay, this is him. This is Carl talking. I know good and well the sight of me all reared back on her sofa, straight cold kicking it with her roomie, had to have come as a shock, but Faye, as always, played it cool. She even went so far as to extend a nod and a what's up my way before Nora jumped into the mix with her mad mama tirade. And just where in the hell were you, Miss Thing, that you couldn't pick up the phone and call somebody? Got folks sitting around here wondering if some fool done gone and bopped you upside the head and left you lying in a ditch somewhere. And you know good and well I got to be up at the bulk mail center early in the morning. Faye apologized and tried to tell Nora about someone she'd run into at the mall, but homegirl wasn't having it. She said, if you're not fixing to tell me about an accident, a carjacking, or a death in the family, I ain't trying to hear it. Maybe tomorrow I'll be in a better frame of mind, but right now I'm taking me a BC and calling it a night. Without further ado, Nora proceeded to make good on her threat, leaving me and Faye alone to face off with each other. I told her she was really worried about you, only to have Faye sort of shrug and saunter out the kitchen like she couldn't have cared less. That is Carl. And this is Faye. The man is moving all right. So rather than keep pulling punches, I went ahead and hit him with the truth. I told him point blank, if a relationship is what you're looking for, sweetheart, I am not the one. But if it's only fun and games you're after, we might be able to work a little something out. So I ran him down the deal and watched as he struggled to hold back in horror. Don't get me wrong, I like Carl. If I didn't, I never would have bothered to give him so much as the time of day. But I should have known better than to think he'd be up to the challenge. After a couple of days had passed without me hearing another peep out of him, I figured he'd wised up and decided it best not to mess with what he obviously couldn't handle. So along comes Wednesday night, right? After my volunteer gig at the hospital, I decided to stop by the mall and check out the sale going on at the Bad Lady Boutique. I'd made my purchase and was meandering toward one of the mall's exit when I heard this voice behind me. Faye. Margaret Faye Abrahams? I didn't have to turn around. Recognition washed over me like a big old bucket of ice water. Had I been a stronger woman, maybe I could have just shaken it off and kept on strutting. But when it comes to this particular voice, and more specifically this particular man, I've always had what can only be described as an irrepressible weakness. I'm going to stop there because that's where the book kind of turns. After the Dance by Lori Johnson, Lori Johnson, is a beautifully written piece of African American literature. I don't think we've ever seen a writer like this since Terry McMillan. She really, and dare I say, maybe she's even a little bit more, she's better than Terry? I think so. I'd love to see what else she has in store for us. I'd love to see what the next novel is like. I want to see her top this, and I think the way she writes it, she can. If you're in the library, if you're in your local bookstore, please pick up After the Dance by Lori Johnson. For all of my diehard African American literature, urban fiction reading brothers and sisters out there, I think that you will really love this book. And this book is one that really just talks about the chronicles and the way that men and women view relationships. I think it's a good read for men and women, and I think this is really an excellent read if you have a book club. Invite the guys out. Tell the guys to read this book and really just talk about it. I think this is a great book for a book club, and especially one that has that's a mixed gender book club. So please let me know. Please let me know if you read this book and you like it. Let's talk about it. I want to hear what you guys think about it. And if you have any other good books that you think that I would like to read, send them along. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.